Making drips with acrylic paint is so much fun. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some very easy techniques that anyone can do. So if you have no painting experience, that's just fine. You'll be able to use these techniques. We're going to use several different types of paint, but you can use any kind of acrylic paint with these methods. The main idea here though is that you want the paint to be more loose. So you don't want to use heavy body acrylics. You want to use more like soft body acrylics. But here's the type of paint that we are going to use in the tutorial. Liquitex Basics fluid acrylics. I love these. They're very affordable and they make amazing drips. And Liquitex Basic paint, just the regular Liquitex Basics, and Liquitex soft body paint. Some of the other supplies that it's a good idea to have are a pair of gloves because you might be getting the paint on your hands, especially if you're making drips. It can get a little bit messy. Some paper towels. You can use any kind of paper towel. You'll need some water. A spray bottle is also a good thing to have. If you don't have one, you can just use water. You also need a brush. In addition to the supplies, it's also a good idea to have an easel or some way that you can paint with a canvas vertically, and then a table. You can see I have painted on this one a lot. If you don't want your table to get all dirty and everything from the paint flowing off the sides of the canvas, then just cover it with some paper or maybe some plastic sheets. What's awesome about the fluid acrylics is you can just open it up and just start pouring it on here. Now what I like to do is just do this. And you can see it starts to drip. Now, if the drips are about how long you want them to be, you take this and make it flat. And you can see there, I'm allowing this to dry flat on my table. Now, if you want it to continue to drip, then you need to tilt it upward more vertically. Now, I have a canvas I've used before for some other tutorials, but what I want to show you is using this Basics fluid acrylics. You can put a large area on here, right? You can do this while it's laying flat. And then you can drip. You can control the drips with gravity based on the direction that you allow it to drip. So these ones are going to show up horizontally on the canvas. Now, if you want them to be more vertical, you can always just switch it up while it's dripping, and it can create some really fun effects this way. And if you want it to drip more, you just add more paint. You can lay it flat and add more. In whatever locations you want to have more drips. Just have some paper towels handy because eventually it will go off of the side. I'm gonna take it the other direction and see what we can do. Now, here's one of the tricks. If you want this to be a little more fluid, like not such thick drips, what you can do is take your spray bottle and spray a little bit. Just do gentle sprays because it's going to splatter. As you can see, they really start to run. This is where the paper towels come in real handy. Now for the Liquitex Basics paint and some of the soft body paint. These methods take less paint, so if you're trying to save on supplies, then I would suggest making drips this way. You want to take some water on your brush, and we're going to use the soft body paint. You could use either of these, but we're just adding some water in it. And you can see here, it is getting more liquidy. I've got a fresh canvas. Now what I like to do is just make kind of a line here along the top if I'm wanting to have drips go down. And add a little bit more paint onto it. And then go ahead and dip a little bit of water on your brush. And you might even bring the water over with you and just go along the top with it. You can see the drips really start to go fast. And as they are, you want to maybe have something at the bottom of your easel to catch them so that it doesn't make a mess everywhere. And just add a little bit more water on there if you want drips in other areas. These are a good way to make really thin, wispy drips. And if you want it to stop dripping, you can just kind of dab on there. It might mess up the way your drips look, so you can also lay it flat to dry. But I want to continue on with the tutorial, so I'm going to do this for now. I like to use drips in very abstract ways in my pieces, so this will be a good starting point for a piece in the future. So with this method, you can just take some of the Liquitex Basics paint right out of the tube, just get a nice amount of it on your brush, and then make a thick amount of it on here, just like we did in the previous method. make it a nice goopy thick area. And now we use our spray bottle, and I would suggest gently spraying. If you really go at it, it's going to splatter the paint everywhere. You don't want it to get in your eyes and stuff. So if you are doing a lot of splattering, you might wear some eye protection if you are going to be spraying really a lot. But you can see if you do this, it starts to make drips. They're a little more wispy, a little thinner, and they flow a lot quicker. So if you don't want to make a mess, really have your paper towels handy. And check out this playlist if you want to learn more acrylic painting skills. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.